Greetings card gamers, Yu-Gi-Oh! Or otherwise. This is Hattie Drago with another top 10 video. Today will be a top 11 and you'll see why in a little bit. This video was supposed to be recorded last week. I had some family issues to get through and I've also been on vacation for the holidays with a little bit of a cold. So now I'm able to record before the ban list switch. So today is the top 11 OCG and TCG ban list changes that I think are interesting or just cool and ones that I am really excited about. So coming in at number 11 on my list is Exchange of the Spirit for the OCG. Getting unbanned is going to be at 1, but it also got an errata. So instead of checking just your graveyard for 15 or more cards, it checks both of you and your opponent's graveyard, and you can only exchange a spirit once per duel. I think that's extremely fair. Compared to some of the other erratas, some of them aren't errata enough, I think, and one of them. And Sinister Serpent, I think it was one of the worst that got errated, and Crush Card and Ring of Destruction both being kind of over-errated or weirdly errated. But Exchange of the Spirit, I could see still being used. I could see Lightsworn's putting this as a one of. Obviously, can only be a one of, and you should only use a one of it, since it's only once per duel. I find it fair. It's not that bad. It also would give your opponent an advantage as well, depending on what deck they're playing, especially if you're going against, for some reason, an OCG TCG crossover with Burning Abyss. Overall, it's not bad. Like, I don't mind this one's errata. Now, for one of my favorite errata cards, we go to number 10. It's Temple of the Kings. It's also back at 1 from the ban list, and also errated. And this one got changed mainly for its trap setting activating shenanigans. You can activate one trap card you control during the turn it is set once per turn. And this is interesting. Gives you a lot of options, especially on your opponent's turn. There's been a lot of discussion about Scrap Iron Scarecrow, how it resets itself, so you can initially block 2 attacks with Scrap Iron Scarecrow now. And then Dust Tornado gets a big bonus where you could reset a trap card and, well, why not Scrap Iron Scarecrow? But it is overly interesting, and I'm probably going to be trying to deck build around Temple of the Kings for OCG, and hopefully we'll get this in TCG soon. Because I want to play Temple of the Kings. I've never got the chance to. Coming in at number 9 are actually 2 cards, both for the OCG, and it was just the trading in of Heavy Storm for Harpy's Feather Duster. Harpy's Feather Duster coming from the ban list and coming to 1, and Heavy Storm getting banned. But I just find it interesting and somewhat confusing at the same time that they decided to ban the more equal decision that destroys both of your things, and then unban Harpy's Feather Duster, which only destroys your opponent's side of the field. Obviously, you don't want both of them in the format, because that would just cause mass destruction, like too much advantage. And the fact that Harpy's Feather Duster did not get an errata, it's just the same as always. I don't know, we'll have to see what that does to the format, but I could see them switching back again and just getting rid of Harpy's Feather Duster forever. Coming in at number 8 is Artifact Moral Tech for the TCG, going down to 1, finally following the example of the OCG. Or actually, I believe. Oh, that's a magic for another day. So I'm just happy about this in general. Artifacts as an archetype are way too powerful in my opinion. They're everywhere, any kind of deck. Hat, Shat, Cat. I'm assuming there's going to be a cat deck at some point, not an actual cat deck. But this one is just the most powerful and is used in multiple other decks that aren't artifact based. And I just think that this card definitely needed to go down to 1. And it's probably still going to rule the format. Artifacts are still probably going to be everywhere. But this just helps so immensely. Coming in at number 7 is Super Polymerization, which is probably the most talked about decision on both OCG and TCG side. Thanks to Shadal's, OCG has this card limited to 1, and the TCG has it just straight out banned. Straight from Unlimited. And, I mean, this is good, because Shadal's are everywhere, and they need to be nerfed extremely. But at the same time, this severely hurts e-heroes, which are supposed to be trying to have a comeback soon. And yes, I mean, Japan has had their fun with the new e-hero structure deck, but the rest of the world hasn't had it yet. Hasn't had the chance to really play around with it. So no Stratos, no Super Poly, no Disc Commander. They're pretty much snipping e-heroes a little bit with this. I'm sorry, e-heroes in the TCG. I hope you come back and get Stratos back. I wouldn't mind. Coming in at number 6 is Dark Hole. Dark Hole is one of my favorite cards from back in the day. And now it's at 2 in the TCG, which is exciting. Overall exciting. With this, and I believe Raigeki is at 1 still in the TCG, that just creates so much destruction. Yangzing, it's going to be perfect for the Yokai Beast, I think is really good with it, since you don't want your Yokai Beast probably won't be on the field when you activate this. Dark Hole just has so much potential, and having it be back at 2, they're probably testing it out just like they did with Mirror Force to see if it is too powerful at 2. I don't think it is. But I still think they need to get rid of Raigeki. I think just that one-sided deal is bad. Alright, coming in at number 5 is Darkstrike Fighter. Now, one secret about me, my preferred summoning style is definitely Synchro Summoning. Ever since Synchro Summons have been out, that was when I initially first started deck building for myself, instead of someone else helping me, back in high school. And just, when Darkstrike Fighter hit the scene, it was just infinite loop deck after infinite loop deck. I was scared. I almost didn't want to play Yu-Gi-Oh! Anymore. But thankfully they banned it, and now that they've returned it with an errata, I could see it. It's still a good card. It's still great. It's essentially Gagaga Cowboy now for synchros. And I don't mind it. Or, actually, Gagaga Cowboy mixed with Cannon Soldier or Cannon Turtle. And it's a level 7, which there's not a lot of good generic level 7s that anything can use. That's Black Rose Dragon, Darkstrike Fighter. And so, I'm definitely going to be playing this in synchro decks that I'll be using. And I could see it being used quite a lot elsewhere as well. Coming in at number 4 for me, it's a long favorite of mine, SnatchSteal. One of the best ways to take control of your opponent's cards without any downside. And the fact there's so many ways to summon up cards now. And this isn't like Call the Haunted, where you call, or usually when you use a trap card on something, you know, the trap card will stay there if you synchro or something with it. Not SnatchSteal. Once you take your opponent's monster, you synchro summon, the SnatchSteal goes away. You don't have to give your opponent anything. I'm actually surprised that this card's back over Brain Control. This is going to have a lot of potential. Like, Mind Control is used in some synchro decks already. SnatchSteal is just going to replace it. Taking anything your opponent has and just using it for yourself. Actually, one fun thing I just thought about. For Exceed decks even, taking control of one of your opponent's higher rank Exceeds, and then putting the Gaia Knight Exceed on top and just having it forever. I think that's brilliant. So SnatchSteal has a lot of potential. I could see it getting banned again. I could also see it staying on the unbanned list. Overall, I'm excited. I'm going to be using this card. It's going to be awesome. At number 3 is, oh my god, Reborn Tangu. Now, Reborn Tangu, I used to dislike this one, only because I never was able to get my hands on it, because it was valued by everyone everywhere. And then it got semi-limited, which made it virtually useless. Now that it's back at 3, you know that Synchro decks are, or actually, this is good in X-Seeds, this is good in Synchros, this is good anywhere. Like, Pendulum Summoning's even, like, yeah, when it's removed from the field. Mainly Synchro decks, because, I mean, Synchros are the easiest way for it to be removed from the field in general. Reborn Tangu. I'm just going to be brewing so many Synchro decks so I can use all my old favorites again. Love this guy. Love this guy. Alright, coming in at number 2, and this is my number 1 for the TCG, is the ever awesome Honest back at 2. As much as I'm scared about this for going up against Lightsworn decks and anything else that's light, my main deck right now is a Watt Hunter deck. Now, Watt Hunter has not been hit by the ban list at all, which I've been happy about. Well, except for that one time at TK Ryo, but I didn't care about that. But the fact that my deck is getting an additional Honest on top of everything else that it kept is just amazing. I can't wait to go back home and find my second Honest so I can really power up my Watt Hunter deck again. So, coming in at number 1, and this is because of my love of dragons, this is because of my love of the old meta, good old Chaos Emperor Dragon Envoy of the End. The fact that the OCG brought this back, errata or not, I am surprised. The only thing they changed about it, if we go back over here, oh, so beautiful. Sorry, guys. Its effect is essentially exactly the same, except during the turn you activate this card's effect, you cannot activate other effects. That is not that big of a deal. There's plenty of cards in the game in general that all just, they stay in your graveyard and you can activate them whenever you want. Breakthrough skill comes to mind. You could just use a breakthrough skill just in case your opponent decides to try to use an effect monster as their first draw. It's still an exceptionally good card. I wish I was in Japan right now for their format. I could be using Chaos Emperor Dragon along with Trishula, along with every single other good dragon that exists in the game. And the fact that back in the day when I first started, I was a noob. I mean, I built the best dragon deck I could, but I wasn't in time for the time of Chaos Emperor Dragon OTK decks. Now, that's not saying I want them to come back. I'm very scared of them. I don't want them to come back. But I'm hoping the US is able to bring back Chaos Emperor Dragon in this form. I'm gonna break it. There's gonna be some way that it's still gonna be powerful enough. And with that, I'm going to leave you with this pretty portrait of him. That is my top 10 OCG, TCG changes for January 2015. Make sure to everyone get your decks ready for the format change. What are you guys excited about? Are you more of a Blackwing person? Are you excited about the Lightsworns? Are you excited about here, there, and the other? Or Plant Synchro is a thing again. Be sure to check out my WordPress channel over WordPress channel, Hattie Drago. Be sure to check out my other top 10 videos, my Hex Shards of Fake deck test. I'll be posting a lot more content once I get back home and settled. But for now, I'm going to leave you with this. Happy New Year, happy holidays, well wishes, and great polls for everyone.